Hi everyone, welcome to week 13 of our Comp 2 class. This week is going to focus on in-text citations, drafting, and peer review. Now that you have significant practice analyzing arguments, you'll be drafting your first attempt at arguing your position based on research. You will also need to practice in-text citations. Lastly, you will be reading and providing reviews of some of your peers' work, and they will be doing the same for you. Be sure to provide clear responses that do more than simply tell the author they are doing well. Remember to think deeply and provide constructive feedback. If you're following the calendar closely, your pre-writing is now behind you. You should have turned in your proposal, your research statement and outline, and be headed into the writing process. Everything up to this point has been about you. How is your paper going? What have you found? But when you start drafting, the focus is going to shift to your reader. What they need and how you can accomplish those or meet those needs in your paper. As you begin writing, think who will read this paper? How much or how little do they know about this topic? Should I be more or less argumentative? How much or how little will they care about this topic? These questions should help you start your paper in a way that is readable and interesting to your audience. Begin thinking about your writing process as well. Schedule time where you can dedicate time to writing. Do you write better in short bursts or in long stretches? Do you need absolute silence or do you like a lot of background noise? Do you have a busy schedule? Are you a morning or night person? Consider all of these things to get a good idea of when you should be doing your writing. I find that it's a good idea to have these things on your mind, so that way you're not scrambling for time to put together your draft, and you're aware of what works best for you, and you're taking advantage of those types of situations. With roughly 2 weeks to go, half a page to a full page a day is going to get you to the end of this process in a very manageable way. For step 1, you have some readings that you should do. We have a section on headings, which is chapter 57 in the 5th edition. We'll also have a chapter on using visuals and incorporating sound, which is chapter 58 in the 5th edition. And then we have chapters on MLA and in-text citations, which is chapter 54 in the 5th edition. These readings should help you prepare to correctly cite your sources and to draft your essay. For step 2, you're going to practice in-text citations. If you've not done so, make sure that you read about in-text citations and then follow the instructions below. Choose 3 sources that you have gathered for your third paper and write an in-text citation for each. Be sure to include a signal phrase, a quote or paraphrase, and a parenthetical citation. For example, the author's last name is Smith and it's on page 24. You would do Smith 24. Choose information from each source that you feel might be a beneficial quotation for you to use in your third paper. For step 3, you're going to review a sample essay. Now this essay took the family exploration approach to writing project 3. This is not necessarily a perfect paper, but it is a really good example of how you might approach this project, and specifically how a previous student decided to handle it. For step 4, you're going to actually draft the essay itself. Make sure that your draft has a thesis statement, and I'd like you to underline it in your rough draft just to make it easier for me and your peers to find. It should also have in-text citations and a works cited page. The first draft should be approximately 1,200 to 1,500 words. You have a lot of different resources that are available to you. Make sure that you are taking advantage of them. I would recommend going back to all the writing that you've done so far for this project, all the planning. I'd recommend taking another look at the assignment sheet just to make sure that you are accomplishing the things that you need to be. For step 5, you're going to post to the discussion board. This first peer review that we're doing is going to focus mostly on your argument and your writing style for the third paper. Your first post is due by 11:59 on Thursday. As I already mentioned, this draft should be 1,200 to 1,500 words long or more. As a part of your peer review process, post a draft of your paper to Blackboard for comments from your peers. Be sure to underline your thesis statement to make it easy for your peers to find it. Once you have your draft posted, respond to the following prompts. What are you most concerned about with this draft? And then I'd like you to discuss your level of comfort with your in-text citations and works cited page. And finally, list 2 to 3 specific questions you'd like your peers to answer for you. Now, your second post is due by 11:59 on Saturday. Once you have your paper posted, you need to read and comment on at least 2 other papers posted by your peers. For each paper, respond to the following prompts, grouping each response to a prompt as a paragraph and numbering each response. So first of all, how does the author try to appeal to audience members in the introduction? Is this effective? Does it match their thesis statement? Next, paraphrase the author's thesis statement. Is it clear? Does it make sense to you? Does their thesis statement match what they have talked about in the rest of the paper? For your next paragraph, check your partner's paper for narrative language. Things like I, me, my. Those should be minimized or completely cut out of the paper unless you are writing the family exploration essay. In a family exploration essay, narrative voice should be used only in sections of the essay specifically dealing with your own personal or familial experiences. And I'd like you to identify any places where the author needs to edit for voice and offer a suggestion on how to correct that concern. Finally, I'd like you to look for any in-text citations that have been included. Are you seeing enough citations throughout the paper? Does it seem like the author has enough research to support their stance? What areas of the draft would benefit from stronger evidence? Does the author avoid oversighting sources? In other words, does the essay read like the author is leading you through their argument and citing information that supports their ideas, rather than reading kind of a book report that's just filled with information? I need to see analysis. I need to see argumentation. So you should not just be repeating what other people have said. Do the citations included allow you to easily understand where quotes and paraphrases and summaries are included in the paper? Does the information in each citation support the author's thesis statement? Does the in-text citation match up to the beginning of the corresponding works cited entry to allow readers to easily find the cited information on the works cited page? So in other words, whatever you have in your in-text citation needs to be the first thing that shows up for that source on the works cited page. That is for your reader to be able to go to the works cited page and quickly find the information that they need to go locate that source. And that is it for this week. Make sure that you do the 2 discussion board posts, and then make sure that you also you're submitting the writing that you completed for step 2. That is all for now. Feel free to email me if you have any questions, you want to bounce some ideas off of me, or if you have any concerns that you feel like need to be addressed.